Moving to a new country can be exciting. There could be good things, could be bad things. But the question is, do we regret moving to South Korea? Well, if you guys don't know already, I've been in Korea for going on 3 years now.
Wow, 3 years!
That's crazy. I'm from the United States, pretty much lived there most of my life, and then moved to Korea a little while ago.
I've been living here for about 7 years now, and I also primarily grew up in the United States, but the longest I've ever lived in one place is here in Seoul.
Nice, congrats. Yeah, so I've been getting this question for the past couple of years here and there, and that is, do you regret moving to South Korea?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna talk about it. The simple answer, spoiler, is no, not at all. As a matter of fact, I really enjoy living here, and I guess I'll tell you some of the reasons why.
Yeah.
But there are things that I do miss about my home country.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna talk about some of those things.
Yeah.
By the way, do you guys like Becky's little cute outfit here?
I'm so happy you pointed this out.
It's actually a onesie. Do you want to stand up?
Jumper. No, I don't want to show everything.
Come on.
It's a little small. This is my pink jumper. I think I'm like a 70s like a crime fighting detective.
You look like the pink Power Ranger. That's what you look like.
It's about time. I deserve being the pink Power Ranger.
Yeah, I had a crush on her. Actually, you kind of look like her.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, moving to a new country. So I'm no stranger to moving around. I've always moved all over the place. Even growing up around the States, we moved everywhere. So I honestly love going to new places. I think originally I really didn't like it because I was always the new kid, you know, and people would like make fun of me. Obviously because I was new, not because I was weird. But for me, I get a thrill when I get to start something new, something fresh. So Korea, let's see. Because when I grew up, we always knew Korea. We'd hear about Korea, right? It was kind of like, oh, the motherland. Oh, like this magical place where my mom would go spend all this time, and she'd come back and bring just tons and tons of gifts, right? Hairpins and sparkly things and clothes. So it was always this magical faraway land kind of for me growing up, right? And then when I came here over the years once in a while, but never officially moving here until approximately 7 years ago, right? And that was a different experience than visiting. Living in a place is different than visiting.
That's true. So the first time I visited Korea was in 2012, and I was already in my mid-20s by then. And kind of like you, I had this like mystical land of Korea in my head growing up. And so when I visited, I remember thinking to myself, man, I could live here. Like it would be so sick. And so like I remember I made it my goal to make it back to Korea after that trip. And I was actually going to do it sooner than I did because like it was like 5 years until I would actually move from that point. But yeah, it's totally different to your point. Like living here versus, you know, visiting. Like, I mean, for me, the first few weeks was like very fun. Like, you know, I came and I made a lot of friends from the get-go because I came as an English teacher. So we had that little network. And so that was fun, you know, getting a chance to experience all the food, just the different pacing of life, and then also just the food. Like, I mean, that's my biggest memory of Korea when I first moved.
The
honestly.
food.
Yeah, like seriously.
Yeah.
And just the fact that like everything is always like active in Seoul, at least. I mean, I moved to Daejeon, but I spent my first, I guess, week here in Seoul, and so like everything was just always open.
It is.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite things about Korea, this might sound stupid, is
Pyeongjangs. I knew you were gonna say Pyeongjangs.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I had a feeling because you say everything's open all the time.
That's true, but like Pyeongjangs, I think I visited a Pyeongjang probably 95% of all the days that I've been here, or probably more. Like I go at least once a day.
Oh,
it's a daily
sure,
trip, and it's so fun, you know, because they have everything.
Is it fun?
Yeah, like if I want to drink, get it. If I want some ramen, get it.
I love going to different countries and seeing what's in their Pyeongjangs. Going because you see the kind of snacks that are different and same depending on which country you go to.
Yeah,
it's so fun for me. I like to just peer at their snacks Oh, what is that? Oh, I'll try that out.
I do miss the convenience stores in America, namely, like, not all convenience stores, because they're not all created equal. But, like, my favorite convenience store was, well, in the north is Wawa. I don't know if you heard of Wawa. It's, they have, like, I mean, their hoagies are what they're known for,
You're
I
a
think.
hoagie.
Yeah, but it's like a really big convenience store. They have cookies, donuts, like candy, sodas. It's crazy. My favorite in North Carolina was Sheetz. Sheetz.
I never heard of Sheetz.
Yeah, so I miss the penny jumps.
I thought in the South it was like Higgly Piggly.
That's a supermarket. Supermarket. And it's Piggly Wiggly.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I don't miss that though.
I know 7-Eleven.
Really?
Oh.
The real 7-Eleven.
They had these sausages that were very spicy. I did like that because we would go on road trips a lot, and so we'd.
Oh, like in the little spinning thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we would stop at the 7-Elevens.
Yeah.
On the road trip, and then my mom would say, "Don't get snacks, get water." And then my dad would be like, "You can get a snack." So we'd get sometimes like a slushie, or we'd get the spicy
slushies.
sauce.
Yes.
That's what I like.
Dang.
But now, honestly, I don't like.
So I do not regret moving to Korea just for that fact.
Everyone picks the country
jumps.
they're gonna move to, depending on what the convenience store looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so that's a win for Korea. Ding ding. Do I regret moving to Korea? So something for me that I learned very quickly is that in Korea I was not able to drive anywhere
Oh yeah.
because you don't drive.
So that's a good thing?
Well,
you?
so it was a good and a bad thing, I think. It was a good thing because I was walking everywhere, which gives me exercise. I always lost weight when I would come to Korea. Walking everywhere, so you get to see things more. The public transport is so great. However, I really loved driving my car really early in the morning with loud music.
Really?
I was that girl. So, no car here, right? So that's
Do you have a
something...
good speaker system?
No.
Just the basic.
It was just, yeah.
Yo, I decked out my Ford Focus back home.
Yeah.
Like I think I replaced all my internal speakers and I had two 10-inch subs. So I was bumping.
I wasn't. And I just missed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a way, sometimes I feel kind of like, oh man, like I wish I had a car and I could ride around and pick up my friends and listen to music. And it would make traveling for shoots much easier.
Yeah, I love the fact that public transportation is very accessible in Seoul especially, and most of the major cities. And even the smaller cities, I guess you can get around with buses. But, man, I do miss driving because, like, you have the control.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just whenever you want to leave, you can leave. But I don't really particularly like city driving. I drove in New York City. Not all the time because I worked in New York City for 2 years. I would usually take the public transportation, but there were many times where I had to drive into the city. Not feeling it. But outside the city, man, like it'd be nice to have a car.
However, public transportation here is this good.
I mean, you guys
It's just
already
a
know.
twinge of, oh, wish I had a car. Okay, it's gone now.
Yeah.
Jump in the bus.
Yeah, so when it comes to getting around, so far no regrets, because even if you wanted to go to other parts of the country, it's easy. Like I haven't had a moment where I was like, man, I really need a car here.
Yeah.
The closest was in Jeju when we were there in Jeju Island. We're like, it'd be nice to have a car,
Yeah,
but we
but
didn't
not
need it.
necessary.
But definitely would have been nice.
So, Korea, does it win that one too?
Yeah,
Korea
but it's not
wins
like
that
a
round.
comparison.
Ding, 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 ding.
It's not a comparison
Okay, it's not a
like
comparison.
that. I don't regret moving here because the cost of living is significantly cheaper, I guess, than when I was living in New Jersey.
But
New
the
York
quality
City.
of living is still up there.
Yeah, the quality of living is pretty good. Like, really good bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Now, North Carolina is a lot cheaper to live, depending on where you live, of course, and that's where I grew up. But man, yeah, it's pretty cheap here in terms of your day-to-day living. Going to the Pyeongjam or the convenience store, it's not expensive because I go daily. And then like living, housing, generally is pretty good. Now, like in the city, like the housing is pretty small for what you're paying for, but you get like ease of transportation and access. You get convenience stores all around you. I mean, it's great. And so like the cost is, I guess, pretty good. Now, people have said like living in Seoul is very expensive, and I guess it can be,
right?
But compared to where I came from, right before I moved here, yeah. So I think it was a good move financially.
I got one for you.
What?
Haircuts.
Oh dang! I miss the States, man.
Okay, because I was gonna say for me,
dang, I miss the States.
Coming to Korea was so much better for me.
Yeah.
For my hair. Because when I was getting cuts in the States, I always felt like, well, I had to go to Korean salons, but I also felt like a lot of times the ones I would visit in the States were almost old school, right?
Yeah.
Like old school Korean salons. And I also was like, this isn't very fresh.
Yeah, they would have like a certain like perm smell.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know, the
remember
Korean
my mom,
salons.
yeah, whenever she would go.
Right. And so I never found a place I liked or did my hair well. Then I came to Korea and it seems like anybody is just like, okay, let me just do for you. But then again, we live in a very youthful zone. Yeah, but here I just feel like they care my hair so much better, cut my hair so much better, don't do damage to my hair.
No regrets there.
No regrets there, but I was thinking about you.
Man, for me, I don't let nobody touch my head here.
Yeah.
Now, the only time I got a haircut was, man, a year and a half ago.
You made a video on it.
I did. So you guys can watch it. I'll link it.
His hair looks
but,
good.
I mean, it was good. It was good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it turned out much better than I thought. But man, like, cause like in the States, especially like for a lot of you guys out there, you know, when you find your barber, like that's it. It's gold. And so I used to get like edge ups or like clean fades and stuff like that. But like, man, here I don't know. I'm sure there are barbers here who know how to cut my type of hair. You know, but they're probably far and few between. And yeah, I think there's some in Itaewon area because there's a lot of foreigners there. But for me, I just cut my own hair here. So yeah, that is something that I wish that I could have. Like in the neighborhood, just have a barbershop. And plus, like the barbershop experience in the States, there are different types of barbershops, if you know where I'm going with this. But like the type of barbershops I used to go to was always an experience because, I mean, you have people there just talking, usually like sports, talking loud and cussing and just like, it's just fun, you know? And you always have like the crazy person come in there and then you have someone that rolls in there trying to sell something. Like it's like a whole experience. So yeah, I kind of miss that.
That sounds fun.
That's a good point you brought up.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Another reason that I definitely don't have any regrets moving here is, I guess the obvious, just getting in touch with one of my sides, like my mom's culture, right? Getting in touch with it on a deeper level than I'm used to in the States. And the experience turned out a lot different than I anticipated because all you know is what you're exposed to, right, growing up. And so, like, I was exposed to Korean culture from my mom. And then coming here, I was thinking, well, I'm just going to get an extension of that. But really, I got something almost totally different because it has changed so much. Because my mom, she left here in 1980. So you can imagine 40 years of change in a rapid, like, one of the fastest changing societies. So, like, I came here for a certain cultural experience, but I think I got another. And I think, what I received and what I'm getting so far is just as good, if not better. It's just a more progressed form of what I'm used to. So so just being able to be exposed to another culture from, I guess, the perspective of living there is cool. I'm not used to living in like foreign countries. You've been to many countries. I have not. So I think this was a good primer for me to, I guess, enter into a different world, if you will. So it was good just talking to people, just seeing how they think, how they act, and just opening up my mind. You know what I mean? They always say when you travel and you like talk to other people and meet other people from different cultures, you open up your world a little bit.
Yes.
And I think that has happened. So no regrets there. It's really cool because then you get to develop more empathy with people.
Well, if we're bringing up the family thing, honestly, that is something I do regret. Moving to Korea, not in the fact that I'm getting to know my Korean family. I don't regret that. But I mean, I regret missing so much of my family's life who are in the States.
That's true.
So my sister and her graduation, and then, the first baby being born, and my sister getting a cat whom I've never even met yet. So it's all of those milestones in my family's life that I couldn't be a part of. And that is something I really do regret. So I think when people have so much to look forward to and they're very excited about when they're moving to a new country, they are honestly, in a way, it's a rather selfish experience, right? Oh, for myself, for my career, for the future I want to build, the things I want to experience. But you can't take your whole life with you because your family is a big part of that. So when I think about my biggest regret moving to Korea, that would be it.
Same, actually.
Yeah.
Just, my mom's getting older, and so, it's just not being able to spend the time with her is hard. Because I really enjoy spending time with her. And then, of course, my family, my sister and her family, the kids, my niece and nephew. It's a blessing and a curse to have social media in a sense of you see them grow through social media, but then that's also you see them grow through social media and you're not there in person, which is different. So that is a regret. But I think, it's I guess kind of a compromise. But in many ways it can be sort of I don't know if this makes sense, and it's not always a bad thing, but it's a selfish thing to want to go to another country. But that's not always a bad thing. But I think that is something that you have to sacrifice. But that is something that I think me and you are really trying to figure out a solution for that, to be more present in their lives. And not just from a distance, but actually physically being there. So, we've got plans to just be more present, even while living in Korea. And so, once COVID just kind of bites the dust, so to speak, I think that'll be a little bit.
Party.
I know, right? That'll be a little bit easier once that's done and over with.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I want to bring up is this, and this is probably one of the biggest reasons why I don't have any regrets. Ultimately, moving here is. Wow, you're really anticipating.
I am anticipating. What is it?
It's the fact that I could really get a chance to start over and to pursue my dreams and what I really want to do. I think Korea has allowed a space for me to be able to do that, and for me to be able to start a business, run a business, and grow the business. And I also meet a business partner and girlfriend.
I was wondering when I was gonna pop up. I didn't wear this jumper for nothing.
Right? Yeah, so I think that is probably one of the biggest reasons, is to be able to pursue what I want to pursue, what I envision for my life, but, even bigger, meeting someone that I could do that with, So, no regrets in that. The thing is, in life, you will make decisions, you'll go places, and maybe it won't be the best decision. Who knows? Maybe hindsight is I wish I didn't do that. But at the end of the day, that is part of the story, that's part of the journey. And so that's how I look at it. I'm here now. It's part of my journey. Who knows where I'll be in the future. But super happy that I am here in this moment to be able to experience, I guess, going after my own dreams, so to speak, to sound a little cliche, I guess.
Do you abide by the no regrets rule? How people say no regrets in life, go for it, don't regret anything because it all had a meaning.
I think overall, yes. I mean, there are exceptions, but generally, yes, because you can make decisions and live your life and go certain places, and if you have regrets, then it won't help you in the present moment. I think. You can regret making a bad decision, but I don't believe in dwelling on that regret. I think you should take whatever you can from that decision, as bad as it could have been, or even if it was a good one. I don't know if you could regret a good decision, but take what you can, learn from it, and then apply it to what it is you're doing now, or your mindset. Apply it to your mindset now. So I do generally abide by that. Overall, there are tons of things that you guys probably don't even know about me in terms of my journey that I could easily say, man, I regret that, but there's no point. That's why I'm just moving forward.
Yeah,
living life.
Yeah, I think more for me, rather than no regrets, don't live by that rule, whatever. I think it's more of don't let any burden that regret might potentially give you weigh you down from moving forward.
That's a good way to look at it too.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't regret meeting me?
No. Yeah. This is the best thing that's actually happened.
Ever or in Korea?
Ever.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, guys, that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know we enjoyed making it, and ultimately, we're very happy that we made the decision to come here. It's just part of the journey, part of the story. Who knows where we'll end up in the future? But yeah, we are very excited to share this journey with you guys as well. And for those of you guys that have experienced something that maybe initially you thought you regretted, but it ended up turning out a lot better than you expected, why don't you leave in the comments what that is? Love to hear and read about that, because we all have those moments. If you guys are not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. And for all of our Patreon supporters, we want to say thank you. If you want to consider supporting us, there's a link in the description below. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video. And remember to always seize the day. Peace.
Peace.